Take a guess what today is. It's another hump day, and it's a rant network coming at you live from Montreal, Quebec, and South Florida. And David, once again, has got his purple shirt going on, and he's not blending. Well,
Purple shirt.
purple
This is
background.
white. This is white shirt. Purple background. My God, we're gonna work on your
No,
eyesight, buddy.
I'm not as fancy as you. I don't have my
Uh-huh.
green screen up, but you know what? Maybe in the next week or so, I'll bring the green screen in. So when I'm at this office, I can put it up and change the color for you. All right, guys. You know what? Affirmative action. David wants me to not rant about anything other than affirmative actionism, or as I like to call it, systemic racism. But we'll see what David has to say because, again, he's forbid me to discuss lots of other issues. Let's see what happens. David,
Oh,
take it away.
God bless Stuart. God bless Stuart. Because today the topic really is not nothing more than another form of racism. Now, if you've been under a rock lately, you missed Kanye West. This past weekend, you missed Kyrie Irving from the NBA and his anti-Semitism, and you saw, that racism was once again on the forefront. It's on the lips of this election. It's on the talking about it like this. What's kind of been buried on the sidelines, Stuart, has been what you just said, right? Affirmative action. Now, I don't know how many of you folks, I know Canadians don't apply to university schools in general in the United States. Okay. I've done it for all three of my kids. You're doing it right now, Stuart. And what's fascinating is the gall, the audacity to ask what race the applicant is. Now, if you go to usnews.com and you want to look at the reviews about the different student bodies, it's there, all the details, the statistics, and boom, the race breakdown of the institution. Now, this has become, it's gone from a point of, hey, look, we're keeping certain people out, like what Harvard did in the 1920s to the Jews with the Jew quota. By the way, from the 20s all the way until not that long ago. Ask Alan Dershowitz. And now it's gone from look who we're keeping out to look who we're bringing in. And this notion of affirmative action was the idea was to, hey, let's bring in, we're going to diversify the program. Now, the problem with diversity and the whole notion of affirmative action is that your skin color, your race is now the number one criterion in terms of your application status. Because if I'm applying to Harvard, which was supposedly the number one school, the place to go, and instead of a merit-based system based on your GPA, your SAT scores,
SAT,
your
ACT.
background, your accomplishments, your skin color now matters more to Harvard and the University of North Carolina than anything else. And in fact, what they've done was water down the admissions requirements to permit African American students and Latin American students to come into the programs. And Asian American students today are the ones that are being told, you have too high a percentage. We need to let others in. Well, lo and behold, ladies and gentlemen, this discrimination, and let's put it this way, with Harvard, yeah, that's a great number. What's fascinating about Harvard University is that they're saying this isn't a quota. Because look, we've gone from 10% Asian American to like 40%, but we got to make room for the others. So I don't care if you have a 4.0 GPA and an 800 score on your SAT or whatever the maximum number is. Okay? Guess what matters? Skin color. And Stuart, I'm punting this one to you because you know what? This is a kick in the nuts to the 14th Amendment of the United States.
You know, for a guy that wanted me to be quiet, you punted it after 5 minutes. I'm kind of actually 4.5 minutes. I mean, I'm kind of shocked. All right, guys, we all know that we all bleed red. Doesn't matter what your race, what your color, what your mother's last name is, what your father's last name is, and what your mother tongue language was, right? Because I can give you sign language, involves fingers, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's what you got up here, not what you got over here, right? Or at least that's the way it should be in a meritocracy, right? This is a meritocracy. This isn't the Soviet Union where because you're a family member of a certain czar, it's a good American word. We have the fuel czar, we got the transportation czar. These are appointed special people. So this isn't Russia where because you appoint someone, they have the right to be somewhere or do something or make it to a school. Or it's not China where Xi Jinping decides whether your family lives or dies, or gets to go to medical school, or gets to go to the labor camps because you're a Uyghur. Weeble, might say it right? Uyghur, yes. I screw everything up. But David, I'm getting off topic. So get back on topic. This is nothing more than racism. You mentioned color your skin. You mentioned Asian versus black. The biggest mistake is every ethnic group will fight for themselves. But you know what they do while they do so is they step on each other the whole way. And there's really no sense. If a black person says, I'm black, I need to be in, but he's Asian, he's not black, he doesn't deserve to be in, is nonsensical. You're Jewish, David. You shouldn't be at Harvard because there's too many of you at Harvard. It's ridiculous. It's beyond approach. And anyone that is liberal or claims to be liberal, this is what you want. And again, it goes back to teachers and schools and the mission statements of the school. An academic facility like Harvard should be the best and the brightest, period. Doesn't matter anything else. That's it. It's a meritocracy, not the Soviet Union. It's not liberalism versus conservatism. It's about the best and brightest. Not everyone has a right to a Harvard education. I didn't deserve a right to Harvard. That's why I didn't go to Harvard. David, did you go to Harvard?
Nope.
Nope. There you go. And I make it bet you listening, probably there's a 99.7% chance you didn't apply to Harvard or go to Harvard either because you didn't get a rejection letter. Maybe you did. I didn't apply. I wasn't rejected. Right? I don't know if you were. Okay. So back to this whole concept of race, right? And this whole political process that's going on causing hatred amongst each other, deplorables, name callers, racists. I mean, all you're doing is name calling. You're not part of the solution. You are blowing up the problem. Well, and David, I think that at the Rant Network, we should try and be more part of the solution than the problem. So and calling filthy, ugly racists what they are.
Well, but that's the thing, and this is the thing this is nauseating, is the statement is we're looking for diversity. I mean, this was brought to front of the Supreme Court. We want diversity.
Yep.
Diversity. Wait a second. I understand and I respect wholeheartedly that we need to stay diverse and we give everybody an equal opportunity, but we can't have everything being equal because unfortunately it just doesn't work that way. If I'm applying to medical school, I'm going to ask my question. Do I want the best person in the, not even funny. Do I want the best person in the program, or does their skin color matter? Because according to Harvard and UNC, your skin color matters. And I don't care. That I'm not looking at this. But you know what's the greatest irony of all this, Stuart?
What?
Can you tell me where meritocracy still reigns supreme?
I don't get it, David.
No. Wait, but hold on. Where, they're trying to, the statement is from these liberal-minded individuals, because Harvard, remember, these are the ones who pushed out this whole CRT, critical race theory. And congratulations, they have created the CRT. They've really created a system based on race theory. Whites are penalized. Whites are penalized because we were racist. We denied education to the blacks. We denied it.
But hang on. But hang on a second, David. Wait a second. When Martin Luther King marched, he didn't say I'm a black man. He said I'm a man.
Stuart,
And last time I checked, the highest offices in the world are taken by black, white, Asian.
Stuart, you're bringing that up again, and I'm just going to ask this question one more time, okay? Where is meritocracy still critical? It's not, apparently it's not in education. It's not in the workforce. It's not in the military.
Nope.
So where is meritocracy still honored and maintained?
The bedroom?
No. Sports. How interesting. Sports. How interesting that if you want to be a player in the NBA or in the NFL,
interesting.
It's not about your skin color. It's not. What it really is about is, are you the best at your position? Now,
sorry, David, that was a barf bag I put on because I'm just nauseated.
Those are two sports that are dominated today by African Americans. And all of a sudden, there's no concept here of egalitarianism. There's no concept of equal opportunities. According to this theory, if Harvard will water down its admissions because we need to be diverse, then the NBA and the NFL must water down its system to permit a greater balance of race-based athletes. Use the same goddamn thing. Affirmative action.
So what about skiing and bobsledding?
Oh, but even look, you're going to
ice skating.
No, but Stuart, I'm talking about listen. You can't.
Let's just throw in the towel. Let's give up on competitivism. Let's roll over and relax.
You know, the crazy thing is that Clarence Thomas is sitting on the Supreme Court and listening to this, an African American, and he's sitting here and he says, I've heard this word diverse before. We've heard of this thing of diversity, but it's gone now both ways. First, it was anti-black. Today, it's overly, for black. And when he said, can you define diversity? What is diversity? It's like, please do me a favor. It's a hodgepodge. It's a catch-all. It doesn't have, it's a buzzword. We use it with equity and inclusion, but it means nothing. But I just don't understand. If you are a program, if you are an educational program, and you're telling me today that we promote the best is merit, not skin color. So now Harvard University cannot be called the best educational institution.
Correct.
At best, they could say we're now a watered-down, high-quality educational program.
Hold it. It's not. Wait, get high quality. It's not based on merit. Therefore, it's not quality.
No, there's still students there who've earned the right to go there. But when you water down, when you see the statistics of what is considered an acceptable GPA based on race and color, come on. So you and I with white children have to have perfect scores to try to get in.
Didn't we just have a conversation about this like 8 months ago? We're not white.
No, but I'm saying it does not. We are white because according to critical race theory and Harvard and whatever, your skin color. Oh, wait, you're Jewish too? Ugh, you know what? You're in a different bucket. What I'm trying to get at is that at this point, the stupidity at Harvard and UNC, they're claiming they're wrapping themselves around the diversity flag, but they are racists. And I want
to close like this, David. If educators would go back to teaching math, English, science, geography, history, it would all be a much better place. Because really, that's where these problems come from. By teachers and educators wanting to do something other than what we want them to do. David, it's a quarter hour. We're done.
You bet.
Crazy. Do you want to say goodbye and wrap it up?
Ladies and gentlemen, we just seem to be like some people are saying that we're focused here on politics. No politics.
I didn't mention Democratic Party once.
This is
Not
strictly,
quite.
there we go. This is strictly racism. No, the problem, Stuart, is you're right, though. The Democratic Party is staying quiet. They're loving this. They love this conflict. Ladies and gentlemen, enough. We need to send a message to our institutions. We won't tolerate racism against any sect, any color, any skin color, religion. Enough is enough. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll continue on Friday.